Shalom, friends. It's the Kiva from Israel in 5, and I want to share with you a very special and important opportunity to help the children of Israel. The Jewish holiday of Purim is coming up very soon, and typically this is a time of joy, celebration, and unity. But for thousands of children around the country, this time has been replaced by fear, trauma, and uncertainty. Ever since October 7th, the lives of thousands of children have been turned upside down. And Mayor Panim wants to make sure that they can go into Purim with a big smile on their face and celebrate just like they have in the past and just like they deserve. If you go to israel5.org/donate, you can make a contribution that will make sure that the children of Israel have what they need and have what they deserve to fully celebrate this upcoming holiday of Purim. Mayor Panim is using donations to send out mishloach monot, gifts of food, to set up holiday parties in their centers around the country, to organize meals for families that need it, and also give emergency funding to families that are struggling. Please go to israel5.org/donate and open up your heart in any way you can, in the best way that you can, to make sure that the children of Israel who have been dealing with so much these past 16 plus months since the beginning of this war against the terror organization Hamas, make sure that they can celebrate with joy, with celebration, and with a big smile on their face. You can bring that smile to their face by going to israel5.org/donate or clicking on the link below. And let's make sure all of us together that the children of Israel remember what joy and celebration is. All the best, my friends, and be well. In this week's Torah portion, Tisa, we learn about the infamous story of the sin of the golden calf. Let's explore it together. Shalom, my friends. This is the Kiva Gers with Israel in 5, where we give you everything Israel in 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or want to keep the conversation going, please do so below in the comments. It's probably one of the most, if not the most popular and well-known story of the entire Hebrew Bible, the sin of the golden calf. And when we learn this story, we're thinking to ourselves, how could they? How could the Israelites make a golden calf and start worshiping it? Well, Moses was on top of Mount Sinai still, receiving the Torah from God. How could it possibly be? Especially in the context of everything happened leading up to that moment, the weeks and weeks leading up to that moment. First of all, they left Egypt in unbelievable wonders and miracles, the 10 plagues. A week later, they got to the Red Sea and they experienced the unbelievable miracles and the revelation of God at the splitting of the sea. And a few weeks after that, they stood at Mount Sinai and saw all the wonders there when Moses went up the mountain to get the 10 Commandments, even hearing the first two of the 10 Commandments directly from God. How is it possible after all of that that the nation was able to sin in such a devastating way by going against one of the 10 Commandments and building for themselves an idol? Not only that, but singing and dancing around it and worshiping it. It's a very big story in the Torah. And when Moses is about to go down, God informs him that the people have strayed already from my path. Moses, we know, was up there for 40 days, 40 nights, and was going to come down and bringing down the Torah, and bringing down the 10 Commandments. And God warned him, you're going to see the nation already sinning. And when Moses came down and he saw them dancing around the golden calf, he, like God, got so infuriated and he threw down the 10 Commandments. They broke. And he went down, he dealt with the issue, dealt with the problem, talked to Aaron, his brother, about it. What happened? How could this be? And then Moses goes back up the mountain for another 40 days and 40 nights to receive the second set of the 10 Commandments. And basically, make repairs for what happened. And it's very interesting because when he comes down from that time, his face is shining bright. He didn't even realize this. There was called basically Karen Or. There were like these rays of light coming out of Moses's face. So much so that when he spoke to the nation, he had to put a mask on his face, right? Because it was so bright, and he would take off that mask when he was speaking with God. That's a very interesting thing, because if these rays of light are coming out of his face, you would think that's a pretty high spiritual level. Why didn't he experience that after the first time he came down? Why only after the second time he came down? The second set of 10 Commandments that he received were still holy, still from God, but they weren't on the same level of holiness. The first set we learned God actually made, and the second set God told Moses to make. So they were on a different level. So what's the deal here? How could it be that Moses apparently, seemingly, is on a higher spiritual level only after the second set of tablets is given? And one of the things we learned about that is that the first tablets, on some level, they were too lofty, too spiritual, too beyond this world for the nation to really receive. And the second set of tablets is the tablets, the Ten Commandments, so to speak, of humanity, of our brokenness, of our humanness. We're striving for greatness, striving for lofty spiritual levels. But you know what? We're human and we make mistakes, and it's going to happen sometimes. And that's just who we are, and even really, it's how we're created. And so, on some level, the second second set, excuse me, of Ten Commandments is on that more real level, right? And on that level, because of that, really giving the human condition of the Israelites the mission of taking that, recognized human, we sometimes fail, we sometimes fall, we're sometimes broken condition, and using the spiritual teachings of the Ten Commandments and the rest of the Torah that comes with it to elevate all that, to bring spirituality into that, to go beyond that. Again, on one side, recognizing the humanness, recognizing our ability to fail and to fall, but also not giving up, striving for even more, not giving up, striving for the best, not giving up, striving for lofty spiritual heights. And because of that, right, the second set of tablets is really on a higher spiritual level, and that is reflected in the fact that Moses comes down literally with these like beams of light coming off of his face. So much so that he has to wear a mask. And what's really interesting is that this Shabbat pretty much coincides with the Jewish holiday of Purim, right, which is this amazing festive holiday of celebration and dancing and singing and partying and drinking and eating and wearing masks, right? People wear costumes, mostly people wear masks. There's a custom to wear a mask because Purim, on Purim, we read the Megillat Esther, right? And the word Megillah means to reveal, and the word Hester means to hide or hidden. So really on Purim, there's this idea of things are hidden. We're trying to reveal them. And so that's why we wear a mask to kind of show the fact that certain things are hidden. But in the end, on the deepest level, we're trying to reveal those things. And so too, we see in this week's Torah portion that Moses has this great light. That's the light of the Torah. That's the light of the experience on Mount Sinai. That's the light of the Ten Commandments. The second round of Ten Commandments that we're trying to reveal into the world, that we're trying to put into the world. But sometimes that light is hidden, right? Sometimes that light is too powerful for people to receive, and that's why Moses puts on a mask when speaking with the people. So it's interesting to see that parallel between the weekly Torah portion and the holiday that we're coming up to celebrate as well. Let's take all that, bring it into our lives in meaningful and amazing ways. Wishing everybody a Shabbat Shalom.